This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cudadum welcoming you to another sports catastrophe on this day. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like, it's the 4th of July. There must be some kind of American events and all that. Tons of events I've done for on this day are American, too. I could have done Dave Forgetty's no-hitter in 1983. I could have talked about Pete Sampras winning his first Wimbledon title in 93. Or, Kobe Bryant in 2003 being accused of rape. But no, I decided to go a different route. I go with Greece at Euro in 2004. Now, I did the Cinderella story about the 92 Danes and all that. So, here's another Cinderella European Cup winners, that being the Greeks. Now, Euro 2004 was held in Portugal, and Portugal basically started believing they could win on their own turf, and also the fact that, they have their so-called golden generation and all that. So there were basically a lot of matchups in Portugal and all that. This tournament would be contested by 16 teams as per usual until 2016 when they went up to 24 teams. So the host had 15 qualifiers. Look at it. Latvia shocked everyone when they beat Turkey in a two-leg playoff to get into Euro, and Greece went to the Euros for the first time since 1980 at that point. The tournament was known for its surprises and upsets. Obviously, you could guess that by the picture, Greece beating Portugal in the final and all that. It was amazing. Because the fact of the matter is, Greece only qualified for two major tournaments. Euro in 1980 and the World Cup in 94, and didn't win a game in either. So it's like, what the heck? All that. So anyway. Group A, the first one of the four groups, had Portugal, Greece, Spain, and Russia. Wait a minute. So you're saying that Greece and Portugal were in the same group in round robin? Yep, they were. So everyone figured that Spain and Portugal were obviously the two teams that looked good. Heck, they were neighbors. Greece played Portugal in the first game of the tournament in Porto and shockingly won 2-1 on goals by Karagunas and Basinas. Spain would beat Russia, but Greece would shockingly tie Spain 1-1. They were down by one early, but they would shock them. Thankfully for Portuguese hearts that Portugal beat Russia and Spain, their neighbors, to win. Despite the fact that Greece lost 2-1 to Russia, because there was a problem. Greece and Spain tied head-to-head. Goal differential was tied. But Greece scored 4 goals, whereas Spain only scored twice. So basically, Greece on goals scored got into the quarterfinals, not Spain. Group B had France, England, Croatia, and Switzerland. Everyone figured that the Gallic rivals, France and England, would get in. And they were right. France did beat England 2-1 on a pair of goals by Zizou, that being Zidane Zidane. Fortunately, though, Croatia and Switzerland were not that great in 2004, so England trounced Croatia and Switzerland to move on. In Group C, Italy was in with Sweden, Denmark, and Bulgaria. This was basically going to be Italy's group to lose, if you will. And then second place would be somewhere. Bulgaria, try as they might, they only could score 1 goal in the 3 round robin games and got thumped 5-0 by Sweden. So basically, Sweden, Denmark, and Italy all won against Bulgaria and tied everywhere else. Goal differential was key because Sweden, with a +5 goal differential, got in. So did Denmark. So goal differentials were huge in tournaments. By goal differential, Sweden had a +5, Denmark had a +2, and Italy had a +1. So that's why Italy got knocked out and Sweden and Denmark moved on. For the record, Denmark and Sweden tied each other, of course. In Group D, Germany and Holland were looking good to be the two teams. Even the Czech Republic looked good. And the Czechs shocked everyone by winning all 3 games. Yeah, Latvia just sucked. Latvia did tie Germany, which was a shock, and prevented Germany from getting to the knockout stages. As it turned out, because if Germany had won that game, they would have had 4 points. But I think goal differential would have fucked them over unless they could pound Latvia to the ground. Latvia did score against the Czechs, not against Holland or Germany. Anyway, the Czechs beat Holland, Germany, and Latvia. Holland got in by their win over Latvia, and Holland tied Germany. So Germany was KO'd. So now it was time for the knockout stage, quarterfinals, and all that. Obviously, if the game is tied after 90 minutes, they go to two 15-minute halves to decide that. However, for the first time in an international event, the silver goal system was applied, whereby the team, if they led at halftime during the extra time period, would be declared the winner. If the scores were still level after the 15 minutes of extra time, then they would play another 15 minutes, and then there'll be the penalty shootout. The silver goal rule changed from the golden goal rule. So basically, if a team scored in extra time, like the first half of extra time, they give the other team a chance to do it. Anyway, in the quarterfinals, Portugal and England were up first. And you're thinking, well, this is a game for the ages. And it was. Michael Owen and Heller Postica would score goals. In extra time, Rui Costa would score the 110th minute, aka the 20th minute extra time. 2-1. Normally this would be game set match, but England was given a chance to tie, and Lampard did it. Then it went to penalties. Both teams took 7 penalties. Portugal would end up winning on penalties 6-5. Even though Rui Costa missed for Portugal and England missed with David Beckham, it was a good matchup. However, Ricardo, the goalie for Portugal, took the 7th penalty and got in it. And then it was up to this guy by the name of Darius Basil. Why was he in the draft thing? Basically, he missed the penalty. England loses to Portugal on penalties in Euro 04. We didn't predict that it would happen in the World Cup 06, that Portugal would beat England on penalties, and thus pissing me off even further. Greece shocked France in the second quarterfinal, winning 1-0 on a goal by Cristiana. It's like France, Sudan couldn't do anything? Fuck. Sweden and Holland didn't score a goal. They would go to penalties and go to 6 penalties. Holland would only miss 1 penalty. That was Koku. Sweden missed with Zlatan, a young Zlatan missing his penalty, and then Melberg missing the penalty. And then Holland got Robin. So Holland went to the semifinals, and the Czechs crushed Denmark in the fine powder 3-0 thanks to pair goals by Milan Bartels. The semi saw Portugal knock off Holland 2-1. CR7 and Manish scoring. And Greece, in extra time, the silver goal, with the last kick of the first half, beat the Czech Republic on a goal by Dallas. So the final happened and all that. Everyone thought that Portugal was going to win because obviously they were the hosts and all that. And Greece got lucky. Well, they had 80-1 odds to win the tournament. They did win the first matchup, but Portugal wanted revenge. So, on to Lisbon and all that. But Greece did it on a goal by Christias in the 57th minute. Shocking Portugal. Portugal had some great players in their thing. Ricardo, Jorge Andrade, Ricardo Carvalho, Nuno Valente, Manish, Costilla, CR7, Deco, Luis Figo, and Paletta. But basically, they couldn't do anything. Portugal's 3 substitutions were Paulo Ferreira, Rui Costa, and Nuno Gomes. It's surprising a team like that couldn't beat Greece. A team with their goalie, Antonios Nicopolidis, also known as the Greek George Clooney. They had Sagittarius, Capsis, Dallas, Fierces, Katsorias, the captain Fyodor Zagorias, Basidas, Christianas, the guy who scored the goal, Giannakopoulos, and Frisas. The German Otto Rehhager was the hero for that and all that. It was shocking to see that Greece Greece took 4 total shots with 1 on target, and Portugal had 5 shots on target, and yet Portugal got taken out in the final. This has got to rank up there. Now, a lot of people say, who's the bigger Cinderella, the 2004 Greeks or the 1992 Danes? Well, considering the fact that Denmark didn't even qualify for Euro 92, it only got in because the team that won their qualifying group, Yugoslavia, was in war, and the UN slapped sports sanctions on Yugoslavia, meaning that Denmark, being the runner-up in that group, would get in. They didn't have time to prepare. They only had like 13 days to prepare. And then they pulled off a couple of massive upsets of their own. I mean, yeah, Greece beat Portugal twice, but I mean, Denmark was not as prepared as Greece was for their Euros. So Denmark's obviously the better Cinderella. Sorry, Greece. Sorry. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.